I almost forgot to get a video of the pre. I'm so excited to cut this piece. This is what it's looking like before I get going. I'm going to smooth this all out, get a nice back, flat back. This is just going to be a really, really nice piece. I'm glad I caught myself before I started grinding too much away, but this is what it's starting like. I'm excited for this piece. It's going to turn out real good. Take some time. Closing the gap. Take some time, but we're getting there. Done. Almost, but not yet. minutes and minutes and minutes of grinding to get that nice perfect flat back. I'm sure there may be a quicker way, but I like adding the radial curve. It's going to take a better finish. And so, you can see I'm real close. We finally made it. 10-15 minutes later. Nice smooth curve. Take a good finish as I keep going up. This center part's going to be the lowest. That's why I went over it a few more times. You can see it sneaks in there. It's the flattest part of the whole piece. We're going to make it work. I can't wait to attack this front. Get ready. Here we go. Like I said, we want to follow that flow, see what we can do. With a lot of texture, the wheel is going to bounce around over the surfaces. I'm not going to get the wheel to touch all the whole surface because there are grooves in different depths. I'm going to shape the face first, then I'll worry about the edges. This area is getting hit the least, as you can see, versus getting that blue pulled out already. So I need to work that area a little more. So I can try to be even at the same time we're rounding it. I'd like to have each layer where they're all the same. You can see it's still the lowest. Starting to come out with some colors. Nice. This little teal right there is pretty cool. We'll see as we go down what we get, what we reveal. I do like this orange fire coming out. Let's see. Tough little area to work due to this big groove. We'll get it though. Now what I'm trying to do over here is kind of get this a flat area. This is a much deeper these two top ones are much deeper. So you know you can get close when you get to the similar color bands that you're kind of similar flatness and depth. So I'm really liking how this is starting off. I imagine there's going to be some really good colors underneath this a little bit farther, especially with this dark red coming out up here. We're going to work the top a little bit, or maybe I leave it natural. I don't know. Maybe I'm going to do the face first and I'll leave this for a second decision because that texture is cool. I'll hit this part here at some point, and the back's looking really cool too. It's got a nice curve to it, so let's see what we can do with the face. We'll see if we can move on to 220 here in a sec. See that fire coming out. Looking good. See that fire coming out. Look at those colors. So far, so good. getting it. Fuck yeah. We pull out some good colors there. Really like what's happening. See how it keeps going. Dang. Keep it moving. So at this point I'm going to want to stop. But you can see we're pulling the good colors out. I'm going to go to 220. Before I forget, I got to do the back. We're going to go on to 220. Now with Fordite, I need to make a decision where I want to stop so I don't pull all these colors out too quick. Really like what's happening over here. It's a little bit deeper than the face surface. So I want to get the face surface a little bit closer to what's going on over here. And then I'll move on to my 280 where I do the most work. 280 is a slow process when you want to pull these patterns out, for me at least. I blend them and really get a conglomeration of colors, but it takes some time on the 280, which I'll be excited to show you here. But dang, Pretty freaking cool. I knew it would be. Thanks, Christine. All right. So this is going to become a lot better. I've left a little bit in there so I don't burn it all the way too quick. So I know what's underneath that is that orange and yellow. Very cool piece happening. The back's looking good. We're going to move on to the 280. Start really pulling out these colors for what I want them to be. This is where a lot of my work happens here, 280. Oops, sorry, I hit that with my elbow. Woo! Love it. What do you think? Woo, getting it. This area is the flattest right now. There's a little deep spot right here too, but I like that. I think I'm gonna try to leave that. Coming out good. And keep going on the 280 for a minute. I really like this red splashing in. I can pull it farther. Shoot, sorry guys. Still used to the not used to the camera setup yet. Got the float today. I'm gonna go for it. I think there's wicked cool colors coming out under this. I'm gonna go for it. Sometimes you can ruin a piece chasing colors. I'm sure a lot of opal cutters know that. This is my technique, 280 whittle away, 280 whittle away. For that color conglomeration that I tend to get. Very cool piece happening here. You just don't see it like this often. That's what's up. Patience is a virtue with this. And I don't have much. There we go. Wow, look at it come out. Looking good, huh? Let's see what we can do. I'm gonna try to start really smoothing it, give it all kind of a flat surface. It'll help me take a better polish, touch up my back. I kind of want to keep this color pattern for the most part, see what happens as I move on. I don't want to lose too much more of this. Once you get through these layers, it kind of goes into those lines. Gotta know when to call it, when to hold it. Saw some green coming out. I want to get it. Losing a lot of material, you know, pulling these cover layers away, but oftentimes to cut one of the best, you know, pieces, cabochons, you're gonna have to cut material away and lose material. It's unfortunate, something I try to really avoid, but here we are. I'm erasing this yellow spot. See, it's gone now. Gone now. Looking good. Oh, look at that. That is pretty. Man, I might even want to pull that edge in more, but I'm worried about getting some lines. patterning. So I really enjoy what's happening here. I think the contrast is super cool. This is totally my style. And so I think I'm going to keep going to my next wheel, 600. See where we end. It'll remove a little bit more. I really like this area. This is cool too, this pink and red. Try to get you guys as close as possible, but we are going to get it. Fun little other projects on the bench. Little C8 kind of happening. Another Corvette little drip guy. Look at the back side of this Corvette. Pretty rad. And then this is another one of my ones I'm working on that are kind of a color blend. This wheel's a lot softer. Really nice to work on. Good for Corvette. You can really whittle away layers with this wheel pretty safely. The 280 is a little more aggressive. You're going to lose a little bit more, layers quickly, color quickly. But this 600, you can do a lot of work here too to really refine it and get it pretty much where you want it to be when you finish it. You know, there will be a couple more layers lost to this throughout the final stages. I have 1200 that I'm going to do, and then go on to my white diamond and my Zam, which will alter the pattern and colors a little bit. So, you know, with Fordite, you really got to stop and kind of assume what you're going to get out of it if you want to end with a certain color. Or if you know where that color layer is and you know how to cut, how deep it is and how to cut into it, you can pull it across the whole piece. But it's not easy. Not easy. But damn, do I love it. Look at that. Just after a few moments on 600, we're doing it. A freak. That looks nice. Goddamn beauty right there. Let's get it. Trying to make it still a standable piece, you know, if it'll work that way. Oh, she's pretty, isn't she? What do you think? I mean, I could keep pulling red across the whole piece. This is the flattest area right here where that blue and yellow is. But I like it because it has this little indent. I don't really want to lose it. Although maybe I could pull better colors out. And I also love this type of side. This one has lines and stuff, but I love having this kind of color blend. So I really like this contrast in this piece. And I'm going to keep rocking it. I think I'm going to try to finish it and see what it looks like shined up. Very, very cool. Good material. So we're going to my 1200, which has been a little spotty for me lately. Which is annoying, but let's see what we can do here. There's no cracks on the pieces, no major scratches that I can see with it being pretty wet. The 12 will remove material. Just got to be careful. The piece can still get ruined at this point. You need to make sure you know what technique you're using and what movements you're using. You want to mimic those, otherwise you're going to cut into your work. It's going to take away the pattern. It's not going to be awesome. Keep it moving, no flat spots. Don't want flat spots. Keep it moving. Man, I keep bumping the camera. I gotta figure that out. I want you guys to get as close as possible, but man, that's some cool colors. You just don't see them very often. Pretty radical. You can see scratches through the water if you got a good enough eye. It's not easy though. You can see scratches through the water if you can, if you get used to it, pick up on like refraction. So you don't have to dry it off in between, but it's still always better to dry the piece off in between. I'd recommend it, but I'm just lazy at times and I'll pay for it later. I'm sure I'll have to go back to this piece a couple times, take some scratches out, but you know what? I'd rather get the bulk of the work done and then do some extra refinement. It's just more enjoyable for my mental fortitude. you know, and I'm at a point now where I could call it good, go to final, 4 stages. But, you know, this is where you're going to make your micro adjustments, pulling more of this orange into the pink, making that more of a solid color versus that break. You know, it depends on what you like. I find overworking it ruins it. I need to call it quits even if I don't like the piece personally, because other people do. I've ruined so many pieces myself trying to make it how I want it. Sometimes you just got to know when to quit, and I've lost a fair amount of weight off this piece. So I think I'm gonna do a little bit more on the 12, and then I'm gonna call it good. Oh, it's cool to have that pink, so I think we should leave the pink. I don't see the pink really often. It's cool. Very cool. Break it through. Woo! That looks so pretty. So pretty. I really love it. Really love it. Man, it's looking good. Smooth surface mostly. There's a little kind of ridge here because it's a little deeper here, but I'm going to really have to work that area with my buffing wheels. Really going to have to work that area with the edge of the cotton buffs. It'll really work though, and it'll be fine. I love this area because they just got a white X at the top of it too. Man, nice. All right, man. I think I should call it quits. This is just looking too good. I want it to maintain where it's at. We'll see how the polishing goes. There may be some flat areas I'm really gonna have to work, but you really don't see anything much better than this. Well, maybe you do, but I really like this. Man, I like that. I like that a lot. Oh, I love that. I just don't get sick of cutting Corvette. I mean, I don't really know how you could. Pulling these patterns out and these colors, like, it's just so fun to me. This is a cool back too. I really like this guy. It's gonna take a nice polish. Fun. Fun, fun, fun. This edge is alright. It's probably it's the thinnest edge, of course, but I'm gonna keep it how it is. Sometimes pieces aren't perfect, but these colors are. Man, I love it. It's like so hard to stop because I see better colors underneath, or I think they're better. You know, like, do I want to replace that green with the underlying pink? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's tough. There's a little bit of green left. Maybe I take away some more and see. Does that pink really add any? I don't know. That's a tough call. And now I've gone too far. Like I said I would, so I'm gonna have to try to get rid of that green. It's not really, I don't know. You think it looks cool with the green? I kind of want to get rid of it, but let's see what we can do. 1200, it takes a long time to remove layers. But maybe that's what you want if you want to go slow. There we go. Yeah, pulling a little bit of that pink out behind that green is nice. So glad you're getting to see this technique. It's what I really like to do. You know, and I'm pulling out some lines in the corner, which I don't like, but they are cool colors, really nice blues and stuff, so it's going to be fine with this overall piece, but, you know, something that might ruin it for me ultimately if I wasn't going for that. But anyways, this area I'm going to work on a little more. There we go. Gotta get it from the right angle sometimes. There it is. That's what I wanted to remove. Found the sweet spot. Get rid of it and move on. Oh yeah. Okay. There it is. That's what I wanted. Some more color blending to come through. Now there's multiple layers of color. It's very cool. Let's do a couple more movements. See if there's any residual bumps, humps, scratches I can get out. See if we can put some final touches on it. A little bit of flair. Loving it, loving it. Need it in my collection. Oof. Should I call it quits? Want to ruin it if I don't. Alright, we're going to call it. I think we're going to call it and see what happens here. Let me make sure my back's good. One more time. Okay, make sure my bottom's square enough to stand up on its own. Man, I can't help myself. I can't help myself. Could it be better? I don't know. It's pretty good. Let's call it. Let's see what we do with final here. I left the ridge. I could have added some cool texture up there, cutting it. I love leaving a piece of the top coat so people can see what color it started as. And it feels fucking cool, so. Anyways. We'll get some more stuff going here in a sec. Dried it off. Taking a look for any big scratches, which is nice. I don't see anything major. Let's see. You know, I was looking maybe right here. There might be a couple streaks, so I'm going to have to really work that area or go back right now. And that's because I've been trying to get this flat area, so my wheel was hitting right there. So there are a couple scratches right there. Not a problem. That'll be a quick fix on 12. They're not very deep. I won't have to go back. But this is what it looks like dried off. Very sick. Is that a scratch? That's guts. A little bit of water that was. These colors are cool on the back too, on the primer side. You see the orange coming out through that. Very nice. What do you guys think? I'm going to touch this up on the 12 in this area here. You can see them right there. And then I'm going to go to final polish stages. See where I'm at after. And go from there. Pre-polish after 1200. Talking about this piece after 1200, there are different depths. This is a deeper spot. These patterns are deeper areas. So this piece is not perfectly flat, but it is going to take a good finish because I have a decent roundness radial flat curve to it. So we'll see. I'm not sure exactly. Let's see. I just wanted to talk about this at 1200. There are some low areas here and stuff. So, you know, it's going to be more challenging to get a polish in those areas. But I have a good technique using the edge of my cotton buffs that I want to use. I think right here I could refine the base a little bit more of this area. The top looks good, a little bit right there. So what I would do is Sharpie over this sometimes and see. Got a couple of blemishes there, so I need to touch this up on 1200. I'm going to hit those spots with the Sharpie. You know, being vertical lines here, you want to hit it the other way. Flat spot right there. That's why it's so deep. So my wheel didn't catch that spot. I should definitely go back to a lower grit. It'll take much less time to repair. But let's see if I can get it. Have a little resilience here. Even if I do get these scratches away, there's no guarantee that their scratches are actually out. Because I may need to go back to a lower grit. But the white diamond I use really helps a lot, so it allows me to kind of cheat that system sometimes. Woo! That was close. Try to see where I'm at with my light. See if there's scratches. Looks like there might be a little blemish back here. I'm gonna have to take it down a grit. But I'm gonna try to go through some final steps first, and then I'll go back if I need to. see what finals do. Start with the white diamond, get this thing perfectly ready to take a good finish. While I'm at it, I think I'm going to polish this one up too. Start with the white diamond. So we're going to get both of these finished today. But we'll see what this one does. I'm excited. This one's actually pretty badass too. Priming it with my white diamond, also known as Tripoli. Let's see where we can end up here. Alright guys, let's see what we can do. I'm doing the white diamond. I got a couple scratches, one here I saw. There's one back here. And a couple other little blemishes throughout, but not bad. So we're going to keep working it. Using the edge of the wheels really help get into my low spots. Best way I know. That's why I like the soft cotton buff. The muslin's a little bit harder to get into, not that you can't. I've used the edges of my muslin buffs before, but I do prefer the cotton nowadays. I'm gonna have to go back and fix these scratches. I'm just kind of seeing what else may be on this piece. Here's what I'm kind of looking at after a white diamond polish. Things will get better. The Zam will help remove some of the material. But I'm going to go back and Sharpie a couple of these spots and fix them real quick. Really use the light to see where your marks are, scratches are. The light refraction will tell you. This is my worst spot here, very deep. I don't know, I caught the edge of a wheel or something. I'm gonna try to refine a little bit here too. I think we're looking pretty good otherwise. Okay. Pop back over to the 12 for you guys. Get these couple blemishes out that we saw. The Sharpie should get removed. Be a good technique. You can see it's already real slow to get that removed on the 12, so I may need to go back even farther. I think I'm going to hop to the 6. It's a little bit hard to spot treat, you know, but it's doable. And so this on the 6 is even too much. I'm going to go back to the 280 real quick, and then I'm going to push back through these on those areas. Alright, so much better. Took it away quick. I'm going to do some treatment here. Better. Better. All right. Some more refinement, some better. All right, I refined. I got my spots cleaned up. Get some final action in here. A gentle touch is always good. See, I don't want to pass into this area with the face of my wheel. It's going to bounce over the surface and cause scratches. So this area is pertinent to be used with the edge of the wheel. Otherwise you will introduce scratches. This is how I get that final polish on my Corvette. That mirror finish is just going slow here, making sure I'm hitting every single inch of this piece. From every direction too. That's the key. Cross hatching, cross hatching. You want a little bit of heat to let the compound work, but too much friction can easily cause scratches. It's looking good. The edges always tend to be spots I really need to work because they sometimes will get flat. Yep, down here where I repaired it, it's a flat spot. Unfortunately, that may be just one tough area on this piece, but I'm gonna see what I can do for it. Look at how good, nice that is just with the white diamond. We're getting somewhere. Nice. Let's see what we can do with the back area. It'll be alright. You know, if you have some of your marks from your wheels still here, like your edges, the Zam's really going to help buff those out. So I don't really worry about them too much with the white diamonds. I do want them to be smooth and nice, but if I do have like some edge lines, I'm going to take care of it with my Zam. The Zam really starts to blend everything. Really like it. I really like how it's going, and the rounder for me always takes a better polish, so the back's looking much better. A couple little areas, a couple flat spots, but not like super flat, but just Fordite undercuts so easy, you guys. It's a soft material, so sometimes you're going to get some low flat areas, and if you don't want to ruin the piece, you're just going to have to accept them sometimes. Really try to avoid it. You know, that's what the professional level is trying to get rid of all those flat spots. It takes time and work and going back and forth and back and forth. This spot I refined. It has the biggest kind of scratch in it. It's not going to be perfect, I don't think. I mean, I could go back, but it's going to be pretty damn good. Yeah, that's actually fine. Right there. I'm going to work it a little more, that area. I just missed it with the white diamond, thankfully. Yeah, it's blending, so. There we go. Okay. No obvious scratches. Everything's looking pretty solid. I think I'm going to try to go to Zam, but not before I try to finish this other piece here. There's one spot that I don't like, and it's right here. I'm going to need to go back. You can see it's a little flat spot right there. That's the only kind of trouble area. And that's the spot I tried to spot correct. Dang, it's annoying. What I'll probably do is, man, see if I can get it. Tack it a different way. The white diamond is a little more aggressive, so it will help. It's better. Right there, it's just a millimeter of a spot. It's pretty good, actually. Yeah, nice. I didn't have to go back. And I would have been mad at myself if I had to, but I was able to get that area significantly better now. So we're good there. It's just one little spot. Check it with the light, check it with the light. You can always turn my white diamond up too to like a little bit higher speed, which sometimes will help with some of the worst spots. But there's no substitute for going back and doing it right. If you want these things perfect, you really got to give it your all. It's pretty good. It's also going to be sitting on that face. You got to remember it's going to be a display like that. So, but let's see what we can do here. Back looks good. Happy with the back. The Zam will really bring it together, so it'll look fine. This is that other piece I had kind of ready to go. Let's see what we can do. This eye pattern is a really low spot. Final polish is where you get your money, but it's also the most time consuming if you want it done right. I recently went to a gem show and saw some Fordite. There's all different levels of finish. Some better than others. Some materials are different than others. You know, Kenworth, it's hard to get the same shine as on that as it is Corvette. I find Corvette one of the easier ones to get a strong shine on. I don't know, DuPont paint, whatever it is. You know, that industrial paint too for those commercial vehicles like fire trucks, 18 wheelers, garbage trucks. That paint is going to be different, much different. It's going to be a more durable. They don't give as much of a care what it looks like on the car because it's not a Corvette sports car. So that paint, you know, may not be able to get up to a good a shine because it's not a sports car paint. And each paint is different. So there are probably certain methods. There are methods. I've seen Kenworth to get it super shiny. Just different methods than what it would take to get Corvette paint shiny. And that goes for all different types. Jeep, down to boat paint, you know. All finishes are going to, all material is going to have a different finish depending, you know, what compounds you use, what speed you use, how long you go, etc. So really with Fordite, you need a method for each material, quite frankly. It's definitely not one universal finishing polish, you know, works for every stage. Nice. This one looked really good. I'll try to get a little more on the face here. But my back's looking good. Like, the primer sides are really hard because they're softer. You know, talking about primer side polishing, it's softer in my opinion than sometimes these top coat downs. And you can scratch much easier back here. Plus they're sometimes not as flat. So it's nice to see on this piece, I'm getting all my primer areas. They're looking really good. Really happy about it. Very cool. Nice. My edge looks good here. My back, pretty solid. Definitely this piece is ready to go on to Zam. I'm excited. Love it. I love this little guy. Cool little colors. Coming from every direction allows that wheel to hit surfaces from every angle. It's very important, very important. Alrighty. Cool beans. Here's what we got after white diamond. Not bad. Some cool colors in the Corvette. We're pulling them out, baby. Woo. Look at that guy. Some nice color. Back's good. Wow, this piece is the piece of the day. Bam, 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 bam. Lost a lot of weight though, but that's alright. Let's get it to Zam. Zam, I like to charge on high, and then reduce to low. You do want to make sure to wipe off your pieces in between each compound. I sometimes don't. I don't know. I don't know anything. Alright, I'm going to cut it real quick and do Zam. Okay, pre-Zam, pre-Zam, pre-Zam. I go very gentle touch with the Zam. Damn it. But, so I go very gentle with the Zam. Really a light touch, if you can. And scratch it. Always working up the wheel. I don't really know how you'd work down wheel. I mean, I guess you could, but... And I'm actually forgot that I was running on high speed there for a second. I wondered why it ripped it out of my hand. Wow. You see the compound getting on there? I like to have enough. Oh, the Zam, it just does wonders. Woo! Beautiful. Let's keep going. I'll hit the back area, touch it up more. You know, the piece also starts to get a little slippery in the hands. Sometimes gloves are helpful, just for grip's sake. Keep the toxins off your hands. I'm reckless over here, I don't know, not a good way to be. Some days I'll wear gloves, some days I don't. I really make sure to work the edges. A lot of pieces, you know, the people do not work the edges as much, and I think a whole piece deserves all the love. I'm really looking for scratches on the primer. It's so hard to get the primer side perfect in my opinion, but I do. It's not easy. Gotta be gentle in my opinion. Spot looks good. Good enough for that. Happy about it. So we had that deep divot. It's not, there's a couple scratches right there. They're on the base where it's going to stand. They're actually not too bad, and they will come out as I go on. That 3M at the end will really help take out some of these small micros that I'm seeing now. That's why I do a wet final 3M. Nice, nice. All right. Here's where we're at. Gonna go plain cotton buff next. Some of these are just compound blemish. It'll get better. It's the only area I really don't like as much. My worst area on the whole piece. It's the bottom piece where it's gonna sit up on, but see if I can refine it a little more. Not bad. Those scratches are certainly going away, which are good. Gotta work it a little longer. You dance the light over the whole area to see where your scratches are. You can wear magnification as well. And a lot of people do that, especially for gem cutters. You know, I'm just self-taught little guy, so I try to do the best I can. Nice. Very good, very good. Well, I needed to fix a couple spots. There were a couple scratches, so that's what I spent some time on Zam doing. I'm going to try to go to cotton, but I imagine I might have to come back and rework a couple areas on this piece after if I want it to be flawless. That's okay. I'm going to go to Zam on this guy. Right there's a low spot. I'm trying to get there. There it is, looking good. Do the Zam. Beautiful. Some come out better than others, quicker. Other times they're going back 4, 5, 6 times to get it perfect. But if you don't want it perfect, you don't have to do what I did. You could just call it quits after one run, but it ain't gonna be perfect. Let's see here. A couple more movements. Get this area. Needs a little more refinement, but this is close. See what we can do on these last two. I know there'll be some final scratches. I'm gonna have to come back and work them. Let's see. Sometimes I won't wipe the piece off before I go to my plain cotton, just in case there is any residual buffing compound on there. It kind of works it in, which I like to think helps. The plain cotton buff you need to be gentle on. I recommend being very smooth. Smooth as you can. Of course it's hard. Finite movement. Third to last stage here. Sometimes this area, this paint is so much softer. Really got to be gentle. I can get like little orange peels, which is undercutting. You need to be so careful to get that glass finish. It's hard, man. Alright, I think that's going to be a plain cotton buff. I'm going to try to go to my 3M, but I'm going to have to come back and refine this area, I think. But it's taken overall a pretty great shine. Pretty happy with this piece. It's going to be a good one. Let's try to plain cotton buff our other guy. This is a very wet, saturated wheel. I'm going to see what I can do for you guys. It's probably going to spray the camera, spray me. See what happens here. I dunked this in water. I coated it. I'm going to go slow. Block camera. You know it's coming on to you. Okay. It's a little better now. I'm going to grease my piece, as I call it. Grease the piece. Rub that guy in. Like to kind of get my edges of my wheels good, because I do want to try to utilize them much harder on this. This is a muslin buff. I just went from cotton to muslin. It's so dry out here in Arizona. We need this thing to be soaked. You need a lot of compound. I want that water spray. I want that water spray. Okay. Do we go back? Man, it's so hot out here. It just dries so fast. We're having fun out here. It gets so slippery with this 3M. This is where I'll really get it thrown out of my hands if I'm not careful. Try to two-hand it, but this wheel even does heat up on its own too, and there's friction. I think we should go for one more round. You know, this piece is incredibly shiny. It's just the little micro scratches that are gonna piss me off. It's a great piece. It's like super high quality right now. Just, I know there's gonna be some micros I'm gonna have to come back and hit up because I need perfection. It's a tough way to live, but it's what I'd like. Let's take a look. Oh, it's glorious. Dry her off for a sec. Sorry, the lens is pretty dirty, so I wanted to wipe it. But now you can see after this 3M. Woo, that is fucking glossy. Look at that refraction. Woo, that light play is nice. This is dried off too. I dried it off pretty good. I got a couple specks of water, but man, gonna wipe this off with the microfiber cloth. Alright, let's see what we can do with this guy. Are we wet? I want to use everything from my hands, you know? Stuff's not cheap. Use it all if you got it. Yeah, sometimes I get kind of tired at the end of this and lazy, and I try to rush it. And I'll go back later on. But trying to do a good job for you guys this first go around. Right. Wee-wee. It's a gorgeous piece, boy. Hell yeah. We'll spray them down, clean them off, and look. Thanks for joining.